Hello, this is Gerald Overmars. To make it a bit more simple, I have two versions of this video. One where I built up the letter from letter, explained from the system that I have worked out where all the origins of the letters lie and how you can associate them and then how you can combine them. Almost unaware of what the perforator is, I built up the letters and make up a description actually of what it should present. Quite abstract actually. It's much more easy just to start from the object itself and see, once you know what the letters are about, where they are performed and if they actually describe the object well, and they always do. Let's see. Now let's have the simple video in this case. I'll take the perforator and I see where the letters are performed at exactly at the same point where the most important actions, points of references and directions are, and context is in this case. And the word itself is in three parts. You have perforator. You could even say four pauses actually, but it is almost like you have three parts in it. So you also gives you already the idea. Okay, let's have it have a look at it, emphasize it a bit more, and then describe it even more, as if I have a starting point where I see, okay, I start with this. You have to have with words and letters and letter combination, that you have to have as simple as possible combinations of the puzzle. This puzzle must be clear immediately, as into the 1, 2, 3 rule. I have to have a start as quickly as possible. That's the per is then the starting point of the word. Fo is then the continuation of the word, where the changes will be described. And rator, the last part, is the third part, which is actually almost like the definition within the limits of my frame, where I focus upon the object itself and see what in the continuation of its usage of all the time, what's the thing that, what is it that I can use it in as or as a repetition. So basically these are basic rules for words, basic rules for the letters orders as well. It's one of the basic rules that I have it defined upon the recognition of the three parts of the word. They also the 1, 2, 3 rule. What do I do first? The first thing that I will do as an activity, where I start from, is when I use the object, I will start with that push on the object, and that's actually the first letter. The P is referring to the pushing the result, pushing it to a destiny. The second category of letters, they are the kind of letters where you need a bit more time for it, and you find directions and you try to figure out, which directions do I need. The letter P is that last one of that category. It really wants to push forward to the results, because there are many directions actually or many possibilities actually. And you want to have a clear result actually. So you push the results. Now that's the result I want, so I make that choice, and that's the result I will work towards. That will be also my almost context making, based upon a context which is available at that point, will also decide the P. Next and the last level is also about the context that it will bring. So by pushing the button, or pushing the object, it will also reveal its context after a while. It's not there yet, but I will have the first action and activity. Second category is all about actions and activity of changes and so on. I perform my change. My change is in the diagonal sense, because there's also a horizontal, vertical diagonals in the background as well. There's a whole system in geometry as well. So the P is about the diagonals. So I choose my diagonal well, that within in the realm of where I have many options, or triple options, let's say 1, 2, 3, almost 3 options, 3 kinds of options of directions. I choose one. I choose the one where I have a diagonal push actually, of change. I want to have a change. I perform a change, and therefore I can have a result from there. That's the P. When I have the full word per, and I have the focus upon the object itself, it means that I have where the performance is actually in the middle of the performance will be that making of wholes. We know already what it is, so I will have that middle point of focus there, and from there I can have the first letter, the P, the push forward in the diagonal. There I have the vertical of the E. The vertical of the E means I have a time frame. There's a time aspect in it. I do something during a certain time, and there I make the change. I make the change from the push onwards. The change, follow the change, and this change will direct me towards where I will make the connection. Of course, it's the connection from that center point of the object as well. You have this counter effect. We do something to the object, almost the opposite of what we tend to do. If we build the letters up from down to top, it usually pushes the things up. Here it pushes the things down towards the object. Per will go towards the object and will connect to the time process and make the push actually a reality. So per, we already know, it's pushing the push upon the middle point of the object where we have a time process where we make a connection. What will be the connection? Actually, still within the same point that I'm focusing upon. I have an extra focus, a second focus, which says like what kind of performance, what kind of change will happen. This kind of change will be additionally with the F and the O. What is F? F is actually a whole set of possibilities of directions where I can go to, where I can move to, and I make the choice of where I will move my object to. I move my object to the point of reference. The point of reference is O. Somewhere in the environment I will make a point of reference where I will connect to, where I will have, this time, a push downward. A push downward. Within the system, the letter F is usually the push, the taking out, taking up, and so on. So it's again the counter effect. Of course, this when pushing down, it will be brought up as well. It's that counter effect. But you have this choice. The F is that free choice with the movement. So you move the object around. You go to the point of reference in the environment of O, and there you will make the performance. After a while, also in a time frame, in a timed setting, there is the change that I want at a certain point in O, and there I will make that push down. Then there's this time, or push up if you really want to, as a counter effect. The rator then is then the conclusion of the object. The conclusion is almost like, okay, I have the first performance. I have the performing changes that I'm performing there as well. So I have the starting point and then the movement that comes out of it. The orator is almost like I'm focusing upon what do I have now at the end? What kind of object is this? What kind of object is this? The rator is this whole set of rules that are already described in per and fol. Rator will finalize it to see like, okay, but which R to R, which is the mechanism? Which is the mechanism of that will give it context, give my object a context, and that R is making a connection so that I can do that all the time, anytime I want, which is from the last category. It says anytime I want, I have to make this connection, and I will make this connection from Ra, from the middle outward, and I can this mechanism will turn itself up again. That's the counter effect, and the T is then where I land to. I land into a placement, a functional placement on space, in space, on a certain placement. and or again, yeah, towards that object of towards that point of choice that I already made within the O, and make a connection to that point onwards. And that's basically actually what the word is describing. It's describing how I use this object, and it's completely described with words. I have a difficult video where I describe how I, in a naive way, follow my theory. But this is the one when I really know what to look for and what the letters are, how I can describe it well, and how they describe actually very well what the object is about. Okay, thanks again for watching. Bye bye.